Bitcoin did it, guys. Bitcoin just passed Amazon in market cap. We're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk about something that just flashed on Bitcoin that we saw coming weeks ago. And this should be followed by a massive move if we see what we have seen every time this cycle so far. And that's not it. We also have some MicroStrategy news, so let's start here. Strategy fires up a $2.1 billion stock offering to buy more Bitcoin. Who would have thought? On May 22, it launched a stock offering, and it's offering the Strife preferred stock, STRF. Now, taking a quick look at MicroStrategy, we did see a fill of the gap from early May. That has been filled. And despite MicroStrategy's massive drop of 49%, it never flipped to a death cross. We have seen this 50 MA above the 200 MA. Unlike Bitcoin, this drop for MicroStrategy was shorter lived. And even back here during the Mt. Gox drama where we saw a death cross on Bitcoin at about 49K, which marked the bottom, MicroStrategy did not see that. MicroStrategy saw a test of the 200 MA, something to keep an eye on moving forwards. We do tend to test the 200 MA, which if you're at the right time of the cycle, this is a buying opportunity. Now here's MicroStrategy's Bitcoin over time. You can see that it just continues to balloon. They are on their way to being a holder of 1 million Bitcoin. They're not letting off. Them, the spot ETFs, and other accumulators are going to make it that much harder for the average person, me and you, to be able to ever acquire 1 Bitcoin. And looking at Bitcoin balances on exchange, you can see that we are at our lows. We saw 2.15 million back in February, and we are at that same level now. I do think we are going to see this hit new lows. Soon we will crack under 2 million Bitcoin. Now, speaking of Bitcoin and Amazon, Bitcoin did pass Amazon in market cap, and this happened on Bitcoin Pizza Day, a symbolic day where someone made the biggest mistake of their life, but basically took one for the team in terms of moving Bitcoin forwards. Now, if this statement doesn't tell you enough, doesn't tell you all you need to know about Bitcoin, I don't know what to say. In May, BlackRock became the second largest Bitcoin holder after Satoshi Nakamoto, passing Binance in this regard. Bitcoin is proving itself as a legitimate macro asset class. Surpassing Amazon's market cap is not only drawing massive attention, but also helping Bitcoin position itself alongside established market giants. If being larger than silver isn't enough, well, here we are. Imagine paying 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. And here's assets ranked by market cap. It has passed Amazon, above Google, above silver, above Meta, above Tesla. We've got Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft to go. I doubt we're going to pass gold this cycle. I don't know. I'm sure someone expects that, but most of us do not. Can we pass these 3? I do think so. And this would bring Bitcoin right to around $150,000 price. I do think this is achievable. This is something that can be done this cycle. Gold, not so much. Now, I know my channel is focused around Bitcoin miners for better or for worse, but there are some other stocks that I really like, and diversification is important. One such stock is actually Amazon. Despite being passed by Bitcoin, I personally love Amazon. I've been a user of Amazon, a shopper on Amazon for probably about over 2 decades now. I was in high school buying hats, buying video games, buying this and that. If only I was investing at the time, I would have definitely been buying Amazon. Now, Amazon has a gap fill that might take place, bringing it down to about 194, 195. I think this would be a good opportunity to accumulate some. This would also bring us to test the 50 MA. On a negative note, Amazon did flash a death cross in late April, which I hope can bring some better prices, some lower prices. I would love to acquire some Amazon for even cheaper. And also, here's something interesting as well. Amazon is now going to be selling Nike products, which they stopped doing in about 2019. I do think Amazon and Nike are both solid stocks for the long term, especially at these prices. Amazon's about 15-16% from highs. At its worst point during this drop, it was about 33% down. If we see it retrace and start revisiting these certain levels, these would be great opportunities to acquire some Amazon. If we fail to hold the 200 MA, we are very likely to test the 50. If these fail, we are definitely falling down more. There is also a gap down here in the 170s. Another fantastic point to start buying. And you might be saying, well, Amazon is so much higher than it was, in 2023, for example. It's still like 125% move up. Well, at the same time, look at the difference in EPS. They were making 60 something cents per share. They're now right around under $2, $1.50 to $2 area. I do personally see Amazon as one of the best mega cap stocks to buy. Set it and forget it. Don't worry about the short-term noise. Just accumulate over the long term. I do love Amazon. Let me know what your favorite mega cap is. Is it Nvidia, Meta, Google? I think Amazon is a fantastic choice of the bunch. Sorry for the scribblings, but check this out. Bitcoin just saw its golden cross. We were talking about this for a while, and it just flashed. Every time this cycle has brought on a massive move afterwards. And I've showed you guys this before, back in October. Golden Cross, massive run. Back after the Mt. Gox fear that brought us down to 49k, a fantastic buying opportunity on that death cross. As a side note, the death crosses have been fantastic buying opportunities, usually marking near the bottom within days, and the golden cross has been a fantastic buying opportunity as well, usually being followed by a massive move up. Oh, and here's another one with a nice move up. Now here's our golden cross. We are at all-time highs. I'd say that this is the prime time to break out. Maybe the market has other plans, but I do think things are looking very good for Bitcoin. And as a side note, we have been continuing to see a decoupling from the stock market. The stock market had a pretty red day yesterday, a lot of fear because of bonds and a lack of interest there. This caused the stock market to drop while Bitcoin hit new all-time highs. I think that would be fantastic to see the stock market continue down while Bitcoin's breaking out, giving us opportunities to trim some profits and acquire some fantastic stocks for the long term. I would love to continue to see this divergence. Now, people are pointing out that the RSI is becoming overbought. We have seen that before. We've seen an overbought RSI back here in November at 90,000 and then it ran to 108. Don't let the overbought RSI fool you. What you want to be looking out for is a bearish divergence. When the RSI is continuing down and the price is running, that's usually your cue to start planning your exit, start taking some profits, be ready for a pullback. If we don't see the RSI go higher here, we may see a bearish divergence, but this is still developing. If we see the RSI drop, this would be equal highs on the RSI while Bitcoin created a massive new higher high. Keep an eye on this development. It's something that we saw last run, and it did bring us to see a pretty big drop afterwards from 108 all the way down to the 70s. From this point we're at right here to my price target for Bitcoin, we're at about a 35% move. I think that is more than achievable over the rest of this cycle, over basically the rest of this year. Now, sure, people want to know what I think about the Bitcoin miners here. Well, we just got through a pretty bad quarter. Q1 was bad for Bitcoin. Q1, Bitcoin actually dropped. This brought the Bitcoin miners to see an unprofitable quarter, with exception of Iron, the most efficient Bitcoin miner out there. This quarter, Q2 for Bitcoin, fared a lot better. We started this quarter in the 80,000s. We are now in the hundreds. Even if Bitcoin falls, these Bitcoin miners will see an unrealized gain on their Bitcoin holdings because of Bitcoin's move over this quarter and from where it started to where it might end. We still have June to get through, but so far we are looking fantastic, especially compared to Q1. As I said before, I do expect this year to see profitability for the Bitcoin miners, and they end on a strong note, outperforming Bitcoin like we have seen at times during this cycle. One such stock that's expecting a profitable quarter, CleanSpark, many others are as well. And look at this falling wedge we broke out of. We are riding this ascending channel, looking pretty good. We held up the 50 MA and we did fail the 200 MA, but we broke back above it and we're back under again. We need to clear this 200 MA. If we can clear this 200 MA, keep our momentum, we are going to see the 50 and the 200 MA cross. The last time we saw that, we did see a pretty sizable move. We were sitting at about $6 and we saw a pretty good continued run on profitable quarters, hint, hint, profitable quarters, all the way up to the 20s. One thing you need to pay attention for the Bitcoin miners, and this drives me insane, watch their profitability. If they can't maintain profitability, why do they deserve to be a crazy price? If they are burning cash, why do they deserve a $50 price tag? And a lot of people will say, oh look, Bitcoin's pushing all-time highs. Where are the Bitcoin miners? You need to realize these are companies. They are tied to their fundamentals, their financials. If they are burning cash, who wants them? The silver lining is, like I said, we should see profitability to end the cycle. With Bitcoin at this price, because of one, the unrealized gains from the beginning of the quarter, and two, the cost to mine Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at a higher price. Their cost to mine in many cases is much lower than 110,000. We should see some profitable quarters. If Bitcoin runs to 150K, we're going to see a Q2 that is profitable and probably a Q3 that's profitable, maybe even a Q4. And this is when you want to take your leave. This is when you exit on euphoria. While everyone was negative and complaining, you could have loaded the boat. Take advantage while we're oversold. Take advantage while sentiment is so horrible and prepare for the nice pop. Prepare for the nice pop after getting out of that negative sentiment. But how are you guys feeling about the Bitcoin miners? Do you think they will outperform Bitcoin again? Or do you think they will continue to underperform for the rest of this cycle, despite seeing some consistent profitability, my expectation at least? How are you feeling about Bitcoin? Where do you think we're going to end in terms of market cap? Are we going to surpass gold? Are you the one person that thinks that? Are we going to pass Apple, Nvidia, the other one that I forgot. And what do you think of Amazon? Is Amazon a solid mega cap, or do you see more opportunity in something like an Nvidia, in something like Google? And how are you feeling about Bitcoin's golden cross? Do you think we're going to see a repeat of what we have seen throughout this entire cycle, a big move followed by this golden cross? Or do you think this is going to be the fake out that leaves retail holding the bag? But thanks as always for watching, guys. I appreciate you. And here's to a good end of this cycle where Bitcoin rallies like crazy, the Bitcoin miners go insane on euphoria, on profitable quarters, which is all they've needed this entire time.